What's going on, Minnesota Viking fans? Welcome to the Purple People podcast. My name is Kyle Smith, and today we fired Kyle West. He's gone. I'm kidding. I'm
We
kidding.
are one Kyle short.
Kyle West is under the weather, so I invited him on, but I think he's going to sit this one out. It's all right. We don't have crazy
He's a
news to
little under
talk
the
about.
weather, but hopefully he'll feel better soon.
Yeah, he'll probably be back for the next one, I would guess. But yeah, this is 563. I mind tricked Adam into telling me what the episode would be called because I didn't have anything creative. It's like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. So this is 563
If I'm
minicamp
being
rumblings.
honest, I wouldn't even know that the official minicamp started if not for all the Aaron Rodgers drama.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even consider it drama. I'm gonna defend Aaron Rodgers now that he's not a Packer.
Did he release what his priority was over minicamp?
I don't think so. And I don't think that he certainly has to. I think when Robert Saleh said they were made aware that he wasn't going to make it, I feel like they kind of fumbled that, which isn't it wild that coaches in 2024 can't prepare themselves in a market as big as New York, the biggest sports media market in the world, or at least in the United States. Hey, this is going to cause some issues. Let me frame it and say it in a way where we can have the least amount of turbulence. And I feel like Robert Saleh just doesn't know how to avoid that. And part of that is just his face. He looks
And
pissed
let's be
most of
honest,
the time.
inexcused absence. Inexcused is not the right word.
Right. Right. And, there's another player. I forget who's holding out for a contract, but the guy that came from the Eagles. Is it Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, he's an excuse too, but it's obviously different circumstances. But I just laughed because you knew he was going to be out. So, hey, you could probably frame it in a different way and get prepared for it. But to have it happen in real time and to make it an issue, I feel like that creates drama around the team. And this is certainly things, and I hate to bring him up, but it's not fair to compare him to the GOAT. But this is not something Bill Belichick would have framed in this sort of way.
No.
I don't know that Tom Brady would have missed it like that, but I think they would have handled it a little differently. But yeah, I'm with you. I didn't realize where we were at, but minicamp has already started. I feel like the year is flying by. I can't believe it's the middle of June today, but here we are, inching closer towards the season. And with the Justin Jefferson contract behind us, the Vikings can kind of get focused now to say, like, all right, we're trying to find the identity of the team, make sure nobody gets injured, and really see what the team's going to look like. And as it sits right now, before we get too heavy into Viking stuff, looks like Sam Darnold is taking over QB1 going into minicamp. I don't think any of us were surprised, but
To me, that was the expectation.
That's kind of the main news I've been seeing around Instagram and Twitter.
I have been seeing that they are leaving the door open to McCarthy possibly starting week 1 if he can show that progress.
Okay.
Which is exactly what we're saying, when he's ready.
Yeah, I've said this on the show, and I know I made a couple of people not happy when I said it on Twitter, but I would rather Sam Darnold just start the entire year, kind of like last season where I wish Kevin O'Connell would have just stuck with one of the guys. I know he was still trying to win when the Vikings were percentage-wise eligible for the playoffs because anything can happen once you get in. But like we knew what Nick Mullins was. I feel like he probably should have just ran with him the whole time. But just see what Sam Darnold has. See if the wheels absolutely fall off. Now, if there are 2 weeks in a row where there's 3 or 4 interception games, I'm sure you probably have to, with the pressure from everyone, change it out. But I'm okay with JJ McCarthy sitting for the first year. I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm a fan of, much like with the Bill Belichick thing, of getting rid of a player 1 year early, whether in their prime, rather than hanging on a year too late. Much like the Vikings did in the Rick Spielman era, where they're like, we're going to do the Jerry Jones thing. We're going all in again, the same thing, hoping we'll have the same result. Get rid of him early. I'm a fan in the quarterback room of letting a young guy develop rather than rushing him, because we've seen in the past, and certainly here in recent years, with like Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, I don't know if JJ McCarthy will be either one of those caliber players. We'll find out. But the longer that they get to sit, they can absorb information, they can learn, and there's not that pressure to immediately go out, because I do think that's an unnecessary pressure, although that is kind of the beast of the NFL. When you rush a rookie out like Caleb Williams has a ton of pressure on him this year to be
Oh
good.
yeah.
Bryce Young had it last year. I mean, every year there's 2 and 3 guys that.
And the Bears didn't leave a lot of padding around him at quarterback.
Right. I mean, that comes with the territory too, you know, with a franchise.
Tyson Badgett, that'd be the guy, right?
Yeah. That it's either him, you can't lose to that guy, so you got to look good. You kind of have no choice, but yeah, I've said it all along. If the Vikings feel like and Kevin O'Connell feels like he's ready to go and he gives you the best chance to win, I'm certainly not going to argue with the coach. I love Kevin O'Connell. I love everything about him. I trust him, and I want him to do what he sees fit with the team that'll make everybody win. I know you and I both agree, Adam, and Kyle does too. I think the team has done a tremendous job in elevating the average of the roster. Yeah, we lost to Neil Hunter, and over the years you lose guys that you like Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen and Kendrick Lees, but you have to bring in the youth. You have to do the cap thing, blah, blah, blah. There's so many variables you have to play with every year. I think the average of this team, not only age-wise but talent-wise, has risen a little. And for the quarterback at least, there's a plethora of weapons and good pieces around to help him be as ready to succeed as possible. But
at some point, you just can't bring the band back anymore.
No, yeah, 100%. And you know, we saw that with Adam Thielen last year. He's the wide receiver 1 in Carolina, despite what some memes and graphs will tell you. He caught the most balls and had the most yards last year. He is wide receiver 1. Could he have still made an impact on this team as maybe wide receiver 2 or 3? Sure. I don't know how I'd feel about him over KJ Osborne. Probably would take it, but when it's time to move on, you got to move on. But I think back to the JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold thing, I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. This has been overplayed this offseason, but I'm ready for Sam Darnold to have a Baker Mayfield year. I really am. I want to see him throw, 28 touchdowns and 4,000 yards and be what he had the chance to be elsewhere. But man, the supporting cast for those Jets and Carolina team he was on, God, they were awful. They were really bad. So, yeah, I think if he can just play loose and not overthink, I think he could be fine. Certainly, he had the talent. Looking at college, he looked great in college. So I'm hoping he'll have a renaissance year. But
even if he's just out a mentor, that's alone is huge. Mm-hmm. I know people are looking like, why would you want Sam Darnold mentoring him? He sucks. It's like not every teacher is amazing at what they do or did.
Yeah.
And not everybody who's great at what they do can teach it. That's just the way it is.
I feel that in my core. I'm a dog handler since 2011, technically, if you want to say getting started early 2012. But I've been doing this for 12 years plus now, and I've had 5 dogs working. But my favorite thing to do is teach. I mean, obviously, I do a podcast with you guys. I like to talk. I like to share information. I like to connect with people. I feel like personally, I am a better instructor than I am a handler. But I don't have any qualms about, you hand me a leash and a dog that I'm familiar with. We're going to do good things. That's what I can't stand about the era we're in, where everyone just has this option to just be snarky and talk shit. You can go if you had the wherewithal to ask an Aaron Rodgers, a Brett Favre, anybody in the greats of the quarterback room, like Tom Brady would tell you, like, hey, who's the backup that, obviously played behind you that wasn't going to beat you out, but you knew, number one, he knew ball. He knew what football was and had an arm that maybe you wouldn't get highlighted because you were taking the spotlight and you were the star. All of these guys would have a handful of names where they say, yeah, this guy was awesome. I mean,
I think the biggest problem is that, like you said, there was that snarky attitude and kind of like the play on being negative and everything. That is what draws attention these days. That gets people going. If you put out a X post, Twitter, we'll say it, and you say, JJ McCarthy looks like he could be something good. I'm excited to watch him play. Nobody's going to like that. Nobody's going to comment on that. If you put I'm worried that JJ McCarthy is going to be a huge bust, then you're going to get some people talking. That negativity gets people going.
What I wish could happen, and God knows I still love her to this day, Katie Nolan, you have my heart. You're my sports broadcasting bae. couple of years ago on Twitter, a lot of people were talking crap about college kickers. So they flew out a bunch of people anonymously, didn't tell them why. She was hosting a segment on one of her shows or wherever. And she said, "Hey, you made a reference to this person. We're going to have you kick a field goal from the distance they did." And they all did awful. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. I wish that people would be held accountable, especially for quarterback. Kicking a football, you have way, way better a chance to actually make it through and pretty rapidly improve on it. I'm not saying you're going to be an NFL kicker by tomorrow,
Right.
but if you understand, hey, I need to plant here, I need to kick up and through, not just at the ball, there are ways you can improve 20, 30, 40, 50% in a day if you try hard enough.
Oh yeah.
But quarterbacking, it's hard enough just to do the drills where you have someone in motion and throwing to a spot to get a receiver to catch it and throw it to their chest and their numbers. We don't talk about the gargantuan guys that are trying to kill you if you're actually playing in a game, assuming that the people that run their mouth would make it that far, which we all know that they wouldn't. So I laugh at these, guys that, oh, Sam Darnold sucks. It's like, dude, you're not even in the same stratosphere as the talent this guy has. So for all these people to say that, it sure is easier to type something from your phone, but this is an age-old thing. This is where I start to become a boomer. I'm going to defend the guy.
Here's my problem. I would have
Sure.
absolutely no problem if someone said Sam Darnold sucked. Because you know what? He did suck in the past. Does he currently suck? I don't know.
Yeah. His time with Carolina and the seasons with the Jets, they sucked. I am 100% with you.
Yeah, it was bad.
I like to take into account now, especially the older I get, I try to be more objective and in the middle and try to be, when I say right, not like, haha, I'm right, you're wrong, but I like to have the truth and the fact be what I
Right.
stand for. Much like now, like, I don't think if you put CJ Stroud on the Carolina Panthers, he would have had the same year last year. I think if you put Bryce Young on the Texans, he'd have a much better year than he did with the Panthers. I see guys that play. Like I look at Mahomes, and we all saw when he got into those last game or two of his Chiefs career, like, oh, he might be pretty good. We saw Andrew Luck play. We watched him alone. We're like, he's really good at football. How would they do now? Like, let's say the worst team in the league is Carolina. How would Patrick Mahomes look on Carolina? I would still notice that Patrick Mahomes is really, really good,
Right.
but I think we would see the production go down because the team is so bad. So I feel bad for Darnold because I don't see a lot of people in those situations succeeding unless they're really, really, really out of this world. But bringing this all back home, I'm glad to hear that Sam Darnold looks good. I couldn't tell you the highlights because I felt like the interview was really short and it was a lot of filler conversation, which I don't like much. But Kevin O'Connell was on Rich Eisen this week for a couple minutes. He talked about Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy, talked about the Jefferson extension, but it was a lot of not talk in the 6 minutes, 7 minutes that he did an interview. But yeah, we're getting there, man. We're gearing up to training camp. I'm most happy that the JJ Jefferson stuff is behind us. He's there. I loved his response.
Now you mentioned training camp. Training camp tickets are on sale now on the Vikings website. So if you want to go to training camp, you can check it out. The autograph sessions are back to the way they previously were. With you gotta be like a child, 17 and under. And now this year they're implementing. I don't know if it was the same way last year, but you could get a ticket to randomly get a Vikings autograph, which I think might be better than the way it was before, where it was just really like collectors standing in line trying to get autographs, then going to eBay.
Oh, cool. So I'm trying to find one of the night ones. So August 5th, adult tickets, $10, kids are $5. Training camp on July 27th, adults are $5, kids are free, 17 and under. That's at 12 p.m. on Saturday. So these are very affordable. I thought this would be
the most expensive one will be the night practice where they got the scrimmage.
So that's cool. Yeah, that's Monday, August 5th at 5 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, I know I've been saying slop, but if you've never been out to Viking Lakes there and you have the opportunity, go check it out. It's pretty wonderful.
That's good. Regular days, kids are free under 17 or under, and then adults are $5. And then that one time, it's going to be 10 for adults, 5 for kids. And then I'm on Vikings website now. Buy parking. I'll let you know how much player autographs and parking is as soon as I load the parking here in just a second. The Northland Ford parking lot on July 27th, $10, and on that August 5th night at $10 every day.
Yeah, they've got a shuttle that runs from the Ford parking lot to the practice facility, which is pretty cool.
And then I'm trying to get. I clicked on parking again. I'm going to tell you guys the player autograph stuff too. So here you go. This is cool. I'll share this on the screen just to have for information for people that if they want it later. There you go. So as you can see here, July 27th is the offensive line, 29th is wide receivers, 30th is running backs and specialists, outside linebackers, July 31st. August 2nd, tight ends and inside linebackers. August 3rd, corners. August 5th, the night when there's no autograph session. August 7th, it's a good day for me, quarterbacks and safeties, and then D-line on August 8th. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. There's a little breakdown of the days you can get autographs.
Now line up and get that John Parker Romo autograph.
That's right. Oh, man.
So now that Justin Jefferson's extension is done, we've been talking about who we think will be next, and we all know Christian Jaroslaw will have a big one coming up. But have you seen the comments of Byron Murphy Jr. about how he wants to stay in Minnesota and how he is really pushing for an extension even right now?
I did see like an overview of that. I didn't click on anything. I did see it on Twitter and Instagram in a meme where they quote.
He is very happy in Minnesota and he wants to stay here.
I love it. It's a solid cornerback number one. He might not be a top 10 corner in the league, but he's what you need for a veteran presence. I like the way he looked last year. Like I say, he didn't necessarily blow me away most games, but you know what I love it in the corner and the offensive line when I don't have to say their name followed by what the fuck. I didn't have many of those moments with Byron Murphy last year, so I am all for it. Adam, you know my feeling on this. If they draft a corner every year, I don't care what round, do it. Who cares? You can never have enough. But if he wants to stay here and he likes it, dude, please. I had no issues with him on the team. And the best thing you can say about any player outside of you don't call their name for the what the hell moments is there's no drama with him. He doesn't have baggage.
And apparently Murphy has been working with undrafted free agent McLaughlin.
Oh,
and
cool.
McLaughlin's looking real good from what I've been reading.
Nice. Well, if he wants to be here, by all means. I loved him last year. Like I said, he wasn't like blow you out of the water, all pro, but he's a good player. He doesn't bring baggage, and I didn't have very many moments where I looked at him and I was like, "What are you doing? Please bring him back."
Well, we're talking about experienced players helping out the youngsters. Have you seen them talking about how Jonathan Grenard has been helping out Dallas Turner, helping him to get ready for the season?
I have not heard this, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm excited to have Jonathan Grenard on the team. Very excited. Yeah, Dallas Turner is going to be a monster. I have the jersey right there.
Exploded on the scene last year, so we don't know too much about him and what he's going to accomplish. But so far, everything I've seen and heard about him, I've liked.
Adam froze up for just a second. There you go. Okay, you're back. Yeah. I'm excited though. Like you said, I'm excited to see what he brings. Yeah, like you said, he had a great year last year. The Vikings are doing that switch for the youth movement. I do kind of wish Daniil Hunter would have stayed, but we did. Who would have thought, man? I certainly didn't think that Dallas Turner was going to be sitting there at pick 17 or whatever it was.
I didn't think there was any chance.
We said here on the show there was a 3% chance, according to whatever metric, that he was going to be there at that pick. So the fact that the Vikings got what we hope is quarterback of the future and that dude in the same draft, very, very good. Yeah, I like that. I like that they're mentoring guys. I feel like the older that you and I get, the more the generations are apt to help each other. Because like back in the day, everybody was like stone cold face, like I'm not helping the guy who might take my job. Like you don't hear a lot of that anymore. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that everybody's kind of focused too. Because what that tells me is these are selfless, not selfish players, and that they have one goal, which is let's go win a title. So I'm down with that.
I mean, Grenard has to kind of be sitting there too. He knows that with him and Van Ginkel as the starting edge rushers at the moment, Dallas Turner is kind of a threat to him in
Sure.
some ways of taking his position. So to look at that and be like, have that mindset of I want all of us to get better instead of being afraid of this young guy that came in first round pick. You can stress about him taking your job all you want, but to work with him and try to get everybody better is such a selfless mindset.
Yeah, it's a good team attitude and a singular player to have. I love that so much. I didn't jump on the McCarthy train just yet. I'm superstitious about my quarterbacks, but you guys saw in one of the episodes recently. I got my Dallas Turner jersey ready, even though it's too big now that I've lost this weight. I should have ordered a large, but I'm excited to rock that during the
I will
season.
admit I'm a little bit hopping on the McLaughlin train for this hype. I'm watching for him to possibly be Mr. Mankato this year. Fingers
Who?
crossed. McLaughlin, the quarterback, the undrafted cornerback.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, somebody's got to take that role. It was Ivan Pace last year, and he did some pretty cool things. I wouldn't be upset if we have a corner that takes that title this year. Would not be mad at that at
And
all.
I refuse to rename Mr. Mankato since they're not in Mankato. It's still Mr. Mankato.
Yeah, that's not going to change. It's like we kept saying, we try to be politically correct and say X, but it's Twitter. It's not. It's never not going to be Twitter for me.
So today, a new trailer dropped for the Netflix show, the wide receiver one. I think it's called. Is it just Receivers?
Receiver, yeah.
Yeah, on July 10th it comes out, and the new trailer came out. I haven't had the chance to watch it yet, but I also haven't watched Quarterbacks, so I don't know.
Oh, you got to watch Quarterback, man. It's very very good. It's very well shot. And because we had a good year that year as fans and the team, it's not awful. They have to relive. Sucks
I
because
haven't
they
had
filmed.
Netflix for like a year now, though.
I
Stupid
gotcha.
Netflix.
I did see the trailer today, as you mentioned it, and a couple slides on Instagram. Justin Jefferson is the very first one they show. Devontae Adams is there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Kittle, Debo Samuel. Who else? There's a lot of features of huge names, but this one feels different. Yeah, it looks the same aesthetically as Quarterback does, but this one just feels like everything that a receiver is. There's a lot of swag to it. It's just oozing with confidence. Like every one of these dudes are like, I'm here to be the best, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, I get it. It's kind of like my guy that works for the Vikings going through. He asked me this question when I was there, and I should have known because it's always the obvious, easy answer. It was like, who do you think has the biggest room? And I'm like, oh, the quarterbacks, of course. It's like quarterbacks have one of the smallest. They don't need it. And we were in the offensive line room when they asked me that. I was like, I don't know. It's like the receivers. They're divas, man. They got to have everything. It's like, oh, that makes sense, I liked it. I will certainly be watching here in a few weeks, but sucks because Jefferson got hurt last year. So I'm sure that'll be a feature on that. But
Well,
I
we're
think it's
talking about
cool, man.
receivers. Maybe do we want to talk about the new like Stephon Diggs stuff?
We can bring it up. I'm going to talk about Kirk Cousins because he's directly related with the Vikings. Stephon Diggs is distantly still a part of the Vikings rumblings, so why not?
And he sounded upset in ways like he doesn't think the Vikings did him any favors trading him to Buffalo? Question mark?
I think, okay, so here's what I have after a couple of days of having to absorb this. I think that on the surface, with the entire history of the Bills, especially as of recent, probably felt like, oh, we're going to send him to this snowy team that sucks because New England's owned that forever. What he didn't realize is he was on the cusp of the tide turning to them being the best team in that division with one of the, I would say, top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
And he was going to be the feature of the offense, not named Josh Allen. So it really worked into his favor. And I can't think of a trade in recent memory that worked out for both teams as well as that one. We obviously upgraded in getting Justin Jefferson. I think the Bills drastically needed Stephon Diggs. But now that the time has passed, I hate to steal your words, Adam, but I kind of know, and so do you, what Stephon Diggs is, and I'm not a fan of his anymore. I think there's just too much me. I need attention. And maybe he is a little maligned and misunderstood, but I just hope he finds happiness because
Exactly.
for how much that he bitches and complains and pisses and whines and moans, he does not seem like a happy individual. And it's like, hey man, I get it. You want to win a Super Bowl, so do 31 other teams every year. But like, you're going to have to accept the fact that that might be a possibility that may never happen. Are you okay with your play on the field? And like, what gives you fulfillment in life? Because he complains a lot, and he's very much like and this is why I have to take shots at him. Is like he complains, and he does that thing where he tries to act like he doesn't want attention, but he really does because the way he
Yeah.
frames it clearly shows that he wants the engagement. Okay, bro, you've made the money that you want to make. You got paid handsomely. You deserve your paycheck. You gave Minnesota one of the coolest memories I can ever think of as a Viking fan.
Right.
But you had the greatest moment this millennium, I mean, this century of the team that they've had in, well, that happened in 2017. In 24 years, there wasn't a cooler moment. So you gave one franchise the coolest moment in their history in the century. Then you go to another franchise and you set all kinds of records. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you're competing every year you're going to make the postseason and compete for a title. Didn't work out like you wanted, but okay. So what now? You're going to another up and coming team. That's fine, but will he be happy if he wins the Super Bowl? I think maybe yes, but I just feel like even if he does win a Super Bowl and Houston does the impossible, I feel like he still has a void somewhere, and I really hope he finds that void.
I
But
am really
also,
concerned that he's going to get really upset when he doesn't get what he feels is his share of passes. Because Houston's got a lot of people to catch those footballs.
but here's the thing too, Adam. I don't think they care because they only signed him for a year, and if it gets really bad really quick, they'll just be like, "We don't need your negative energy, sir. Like you can take that and run
Yeah,
with it."
Houston essentially is getting him for almost nothing this year because if they let him go in free agency and he signs somewhere, they're getting a comp pick.
Yeah, and like I said, I wonder if they won a Super Bowl, if that would make him feel fulfillment. But it feels like even then he would still he has something that he has to complain about because he wants to be the guy, which I understand. Receivers want to. He's a competitor. I'm not shitting on him for that, but I just don't like that. You're getting closer to 30 now because he came in the league in 2015. We don't realize that
Right.
he's going into his 9th or 10th season, so he's been in the league. And I remember his breakout game against the Bears, 5th-round pick for Maryland, and we're like, "Oh shit, that guy's on our team. He looks good today." He's been on the team since
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater's good year with the
Oh,
team,
yeah.
so that's how long he's been here. But I just wonder if that part of him will ever leave because it seems immature. And I hate to dig this up, but it is part of his story, especially here. Um, there was all those reports of like what teammate would you least like to date your sister? Everyone said Diggs. There's the report of the hotel incident. Like, I wonder if there's always going to be that immaturity there, and if there's going to be like that. I need to be the center of attention all the time. But truthfully, man, I know it sounds like I just shit on you for no reason. You gave us a great memory. I hope that you find the fulfillment that you want because you have.
Oh, he is one heck of a football player.
He's so good. He's very good, and for his size too. I mean, he's probably bigger than I am in person, but for his size, you wouldn't expect him to be as elusive and shifty because he's technically on the smaller side of receivers, but he's very talented. So I hope he finds peace. I don't see the Houston Texans taking a step back at all. They only upgraded and adding him, so we'll see. Andrew, what's up, man? How are you? We're talking about minicamp. Sam Darnold is QB1 as of right now, according to KOC. They still have a good plan for JJ McCarthy. We're talking about Stephon Diggs' recent drama ish, not a lot, but he's still talking about the Vikings 4 years
Yeah,
later.
we got more former Vikings drama too, with that Kirk Cousins tampering thing with the Falcons.
I got it right here. So this came out today at 11:07 a.m., updated at 11:31. The NFL has found the Atlanta Falcons violated the league's anti-tampering policy to include quarterback Kirk Cousins. They will be docked a 2025 5th-round pick, fined $250,000 for logistical violations.
And this wasn't just Kirk Cousins. This was 3 players they tampered on.
Darnell Mooney, wide receiver formerly of the Bears, and tight end Charlie Warner. And Falcons GM Terry Fontenot will be fined $50,000. The quote says, while the policy permits clubs to engage with and negotiate all aspects of NFL player contract with a certified agent during the 2-week negotiating period, the NFL explained, any direct contact between the player and employee of a representative of the club is prohibited. This includes discussion of travel arrangement or logistical matters within the club, which the club acknowledges took place with regard to these players. So you can talk to their agents all day. You just can't contact them directly. That makes zero sense in my little peanut brain. Who gives a flying shit? I don't care. In a separate investigation, the league determined that the Philadelphia Eagles did not tamper with free agent running back Saquon Barkley. So that's out. This is what I found interesting. And they did put it in this article, but I'm going to bring the article up too because I found it again. But that was on NFL.com today. On Fox News on February 16th of last year, the NFL has suspended Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, fined him $1.5 million for tampering with Tom Brady and Sean Payton following a 6-month investigation stemming from Brian Flores' racial discrimination lawsuit against the league. So both of these tie in with Minnesota. That's why we're talking about them. Roger Goodell said last year, 2 years ago, August 2nd, 2022, investigators found tampering violations of unprecedented scope and severity. I know of no prior instance of a team violating the prohibition and tampering with both a head coach and a star player to the potential of detriment of other clubs over a period of several years. Here's my thing, though. The Falcons got the players that they wanted and lost a 5th-round pick. The Dolphins got neither one of those guys and lost a 1st-round pick. So the kangaroo court that is the NFL continues to shit on its own face, and I hate that. This makes no sense to me because, okay, if you're going to get punished, that's fine, but they landed the guy. This, to me, screams 1st-round pick all day long because it clearly violates in the rule. Adam, you and I cannot like the rule or say it's dumb all day long, and that's a different conversation.
Right.
But because they clearly violated this rule of contacting Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney and Charlie Warner, 3 players, but because they're not a Hall of Fame coach and the greatest quarterback of all time, it's only a 5th. Like, I need to know the justification. But at this point, it's not going to be a justification. It's going to be an excuse.
And is this punishment going to deter anybody from doing it in the future? Not
another
at all.
Another great point. I had one myself, but that's a great one.
I lost somebody here. I guess it's just me for now. Don't know where Smith went. Hopefully he can hop back in. There he is.
I don't know. I think I hit these Apple mouses. If you go left or right, it'll go forward or backward. I got so into talking about this. But yeah, I think a 5th-round pick. I mean, yeah, I think if it was a 6 or a 7, we would laugh our way to the bank with this. 5th is a little substantial, but it's not a 3rd. It's not a 2nd. It's definitely not a 1st. So I'm just in shock that the Dolphins lost a 1st round. They didn't get the guy, but the Falcons got 3 players, and it just doesn't register in my brain. If you guys in the
comments, it's wild to me. The fact that they held this out too, like they delayed this, we need to do more investigating, and this is what they came up with.
It's kangaroo court, man, and I'll just say that all day long. We can just make it up. It's whose line is it anyway? Everything's made up. Points don't matter. When they can do whatever they want, they're going to do dumb stuff like this. And rounding it out, since we're having this episode of just keeping things in the neighborhood and having little webs connect everything. PFT had an interesting take. Andrew tells us about the tampering. The NFL's responses were inconsistent with reality. You know what else? I don't ever like giving Mike Florio any flowers ever. I take every single chance I can to poo on him and his little whiny attitude about the Vikings. But I got to tell you, I will eat crow when it's my turn to say I was wrong or say I could have been better. He had an amazing story, and I highly recommend you look it up this week, the week of June 10th or 11th, whatever it is, this week of 2024, about the NFL and its TV rights and all these packages that you have to buy with subscriptions. Man, did he take a dump on all their reasoning on why the NFL is charging so much. And it makes sense. It's not, oh, I don't like it because I said so. It makes a lot of sense. And God, the NFL is just a money-hungry greedy machine. It's wild. It's insane. We've been clamoring for weeks now saying, if you offered us a package of $99 a year, you can watch all Vikings games unrestricted. I would pay that immediately. I don't need any other games. But what this is going to lead to when they keep this shit up of you got to buy NFL Sunday Ticket, you got to buy NFL Plus. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to illegally stream these for the price of free and give you the middle finger because I'm not paying for this. Oh, well, because you have to buy all or nothing. That's not how this works. And I'll just be a pain in your butt and they'll just stream them without paying.
I love the idea of Sunday Ticket, but I
Yes.
am not paying for Sunday Ticket because when they say, "Oh, you can watch all these games," you're actually going to be watching maybe 2 games on Sunday.
You'll watch 3 games on Sunday if you watch the Sunday night game as well. You'll watch a
Oh,
1.
you can watch a
You'll watch a
Sunday night
4:30.
game on Sunday Ticket?
I believe so. I believe
I
you get
thought that
access
was
to
what
all of
blacked
them.
out.
You might be right. I'm thinking in my head, I'm not thinking with just using that service. I'm thinking with how the times line up, you can watch 3 games on Sunday. If you want to watch them consistently back
Yeah, but
back and
not
forth
all on
consecutively.
Sunday Ticket. You still got to have your
Correct.
NBC or your Peacock for that.
Correct. I stand corrected on that. So you would have to have yet another streaming service. um, yeah,
But yeah, for those 2 games on Sunday, that ain't worth it to me. That's way too much money.
I can't justify it. I liked it last year because I had unrestricted access. But you know what I can put up with because it costs nothing? I can put up with a 2-minute delay on some third party site that's illegally streaming it. I don't care.
When you live outside the broadcast area of your favorite team, it can be rough.
My whole entire NFL fandom has been this, and I'll be okay. Um, I've had instances where I just had to be on NFL.com and just watch the little screen go play by play like Tecmo Bowl and see where the hash mark goes and wait. But luckily now technology is so advanced, there's all these sites where you can just watch it. No, it'll be a little delayed. Maybe there's a lag. Maybe the
Yeah.
quality looks like you're filming it on a potato, but I'll at least get semi-live video with audio with it. I'm not paying. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm with you, man. I depend. Yeah, Andrew says he's got an antenna. Charlotte says who's going to broadcast it. We'd have 2 of them. I'm okay with keeping like Amazon Prime because they have them now, or if Netflix is going to stream some games because I need those for my son. My son likes Disney Plus and Netflix for kids, and I'm going to use those every week regardless. But I'm not paying for like 12 different subscription services. I won't do it. I'm too my father's son, too much of a cheapskate to do that. I
I
can't.
pay for Peacock and I pay for Paramount Plus, which that auto renewed on me. Otherwise, I probably would have canceled it. But I have Starlink Internet, which runs through Chicago. So when I have my Paramount Plus going for the CBS games, I get Bears games. That's what I get on there.
And it's fine. Like if the Vikings aren't playing like any of the Thursday or Monday or Sunday night games, I will find a game with players that I like or an interesting matchup that has merit or value. Um, I'll do that. I'll watch a different game, but I don't think I think they're so far behind the 8 ball. It's 2024. We have all this amazing technology. You and I can FaceTime each other, talk in real time. We can do a podcast. We can do all these things at the touch of our fingertips, but we can't. We don't have the option to watch your favorite sports team
But
in
one
a
of the things we
package
don't
there.
realize is that running a streaming app is super expensive.
Sure.
It costs a ton of money, and honestly, the NFL is probably making more money licensing out these games to other streaming services than they would ever have made with their own streaming service.
And I get it. You gotta keep the value of the dollar, and I think that these streaming services and these television stations and networks they want to get theirs too. But you have to watch the Mike Florio, the Pro Football Talk video on this week. It came out this week. I think it was 2 days ago. It made a ton of sense. Kyle West shared it with me. Shout out to Kyle West. It made all kinds of sense, and it's just the NFL is never going to budge on making money or holding it to like, hey, we're overcharging because of this. Because there's going to be a suit. That was part of the video. There's going to be a lawsuit that comes out about this, but they'll drag it on in litigation forever. And eventually just settle later because that's the move. But it was an interesting take. I wish that they would find a way to make the consumer happy because football keeps growing every year somehow, some way. I don't know how the entire country doesn't like it already, but it just keeps getting more and more eyeballs every year. So you would think they would make things more friendly, but they're gonna do the capitalistic thing where they're gonna try to make as much money off it as they can. So
So I
is
got
what
to
it
ask you,
is.
Smith, do you care about cricket now?
I don't. I
But
don't. I'm happy.
yeah, the U.S. is like they are not known for cricket, but apparently the U.S. team went over there and just kicked some butt in cricket, and everybody now is like, "Yeah, USA cricket." It's like, really? Is this what we're doing now?
Yet again, this is the episode of segues, and just you didn't even know you were alley ooping this. I don't care about cricket, Adam. I'm glad you brought it up, and I'm happy that the American team won. I'll tell you what I would give a shit about if a certain member of the group is involved. Men's curling in the Olympics, if Jared Allen makes the trials and team,
Yeah.
because I remember he thought he was just going to transition from the NFL to the curling team, and he was like, this is very hard. But if they somehow went on a run and there was Jared Allen news and he's an Olympic gold medalist later in life, absolutely I would care. Now that I'd be in for, but I don't even know if he's going to be invited to try out because I don't know if their team's that good yet. Um, oh, here we go. Jonathan and Charlotte are yelling in the comments. From what we can watch on live TV, I went to stream 3 at most via Sunday ticket. From the legal side, I will go the free route after last year's holy high fee. No, we won't. I'll pay the fee to keep from hearing you yell at the TV. She called you out, man. That's hilarious. Charlotte and Jonathan are
That is pretty great.
our most consistent regulars outside of Andrew, and we appreciate you all tuning in. I tried to promote this on Twitter, and to get some action, I always love to tag Adam in everything that we can so we can get some eyeballs in here. But man, if it wasn't for you three old faithfuls in here, we'd be talking to the wall right now. So
Well,
we
I do want to
appreciate
take
you
one
guys.
second and say, I don't know if you're listening, Cliff, but we love you, man.
Yeah, let's put a banner up for Cliff, man. We got I don't know where we got the news. I think somebody just saw that he was tagged in something, but our longtime friend and listener, Clifford Tang. Um, this one's for you, Cliff. We love you. We wish
He's been
you
with us for many years.
nothing but the best. We're not going to reveal the details or any of the severity, but if you're a prayer person, you can say a prayer for Clifford Tang. If not, we just wanted to give him a shout out. We heard and saw because we're all friends on social media. We just want to extend our heartfelt thank yous and we love yous and Skull. And even though we're connected by football to start, this is about life,
It
and
is.
we're here for you, buddy. Anything we can do, you just let us know. But we wanted to say thank you for the reminder, Adam. But we saw it yesterday. We wanted to dedicate the show to you and for you. And anything you need, man, just give us a shout, give us a message. But we'll leave that up for a little while. What else do we have, man? We're complaining about Kirk Cousins, the tampering charge.
It's that
Sam
time of year where
Darnold.
there's not a ton going on. We're going to learn a lot more about this team as the mini camp goes on and moves into training camp. But for now, there isn't a ton of drama going around like there has been in several other teams and stuff. So I mean,
Mhm.
for now, it's just quiet on the Vikings front, which is okay. I don't mind that.
Yeah, there's going to be a small break coming up before training camp. NFL news, there's not a lot going around. There's still some free agents out there that were kind of linked to maybe the Vikings were going to get. I saw some
God.
really negative news about Xavier Howard, the all-star corner. I don't think I want him on the Vikings anymore after what I saw with
No.
him. You guys can look that up. Dalvin Cook is still out there. I don't see him joining the team again, but this will be the move coming up in July. If there's any injuries that are severe for maybe Minnesota to take a run, because they do have some cap space. I feel like they might roll that into next year. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I knew Vikings football was back when they started doing the camera, the static camera, and they just have players come up and either solve riddles. Yesterday they had it up. Are you a drums or flats person? Adam,
Oh
let's
yeah.
ask. Are you a drums or a flats person?
Back when I used to have my teeth better, I used to be a. I liked eating the drums because they were so easy and fast, but you got the better meat from the flats.
I get it. I am especially when it comes to food. I will never understand people who shit on other people for what they like and don't
And
like.
do you want boneless wings? Fine. If that's what you like, cool.
Adult
Enjoy it.
chicken nuggets. If you tell me you don't like chicken nuggets, you're a liar. Unless you're vegan, you're a liar. Chicken nuggets are amazing. Boneless wings are adult chicken nuggets, and that's okay. I
Yeah, it's
personally,
great.
I don't like when people are like, "Oh my god, you eat your burger with just ketchup." Like, who cares? You're not eating it. I don't like pickles. People think I'm an insane person for that. I hate pickles. But if you like them, awesome.
Yeah.
I personally am a drum guy. I like that you have more meat on the drum, and I like that you can eat it this way. But you are
Right.
correct. The better meat is on a flat. You know what? I've never been able to do that trick with the flat to get it the way I want. I got to practice that more. Maybe if I perfect that
Have you been
certain
trying the
way to get
twist
it
or the
off,
slam with the flat?
I want to do the slam, but I feel like I need to learn the twist. I need to do both. But I feel like if I get that down, I will be a flat guy, maybe more. But right now, I've been team drum my whole life, and 2/3 of the team was flats. But JJ McCarthy, Jefferson, KOC, Ivan Pace, they were all drum guys, and I'm like the superstars, like the
Yeah, the
drums. I'm
Vikings
doing
social
okay.
media has been hitting a lot of this stuff really good and hard. Have you seen like when they did the fake white winter jersey reveal?
We haven't talked about that. I'm not a fan. I like purple the most as the color scheme for the Vikings. It's just my favorite. It's the dominant color, and to not have pretty much any purple outside of the little stripe and lining around the horn, maybe a little on the sleeve. Not a fan, but I am. I do understand for the whiteout game what it is, so I get it. Um, it's not a season long thing. I wish they would do the retro throwback whites where you have that like almost like baseball style stuff on the sleeve and
Yeah.
that be on there and then a purple helmet. If they had a purple helmet with these white uniforms, I would be all for them. But a white helmet too, I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm not a fan of that, but for one game, I'll live. Vikings
It's better
social
than
media.
whatever the Giants are trotting out in week 1.
Those uniforms are so ugly.
What are
Oh,
they
they're
called?
so
The
bad.
Century something uniforms? And they are
They're
bad.
they're called wish.com is where they ordered those from. Those are awful. Those are terrible. Um, yeah, for one game, that's fine. Vikings social media, if you ever hear this, or the Vikings PR, uniform department, whatever, you've done all white. Can we do a blackout Vikings uniform one time? That would be sick. I would buy a jersey or a T-shirt or whatever of that immediately. Figure that out
Yeah,
for
it
me.
all depends on how they work the numbering and the lettering on it. Like if they do purple or yellow
From
outlines or what.
Timu. Uh, Also, I saw this too. Jonathan in the comments said rumors about JJ and Dallas not signing the rookie contracts yet, the holdout. I don't think rookies can hold out. It's in the agreement. Um, yeah, it might be just adjusting signing bonus payouts, but they're going to get their money based on where they were drafted. They're going to get millions up front too, so they're going to be fine. But yeah, from what I
I
read in
think
the
one of the
comments,
problems is I think the Chargers are causing problems with that, with the guaranteed money that they gave Joe Alt with his rookie deal. I
have you
think
seen
that could
this?
be causing problems.
Have you seen the size of that dude?
He's a large gentleman.
Holy shit. Junior Seau, I think it was. Am I saying the wrong? I said that. Why did I say that name? That can't be him. Well, I'll find the post. I sent it to my brother. I got it right here. I'm sorry if I said a person that has nothing to do with football and I sound like an idiot.
I believe Junior Seau has passed away.
Who am I thinking of? I sent it on Instagram. Anyways, Homeboy is 6'4", I think,
Yeah.
and he towers over him. And it's not even like it's not even close. That is I can't believe I thought, okay, he's an offensive lineman. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's got to be closer to 7 feet tall. And of course, I can't find this damn tweet that I sent my brother.
I want to say that he's got almost like $9 million a year though, and his rookie contract, which is kind of wild.
That is crazy. very upset about this.
Because where Joe Alt got drafted, he should be making a solid amount of money, and maybe JJ McCarthy, because of the position he plays, will get a little bit more than that. I don't know how that works as far as I thought rookies had a rather standard contract when they got drafted, but I've been seeing some strange contracts come out for some of these draft picks.
Why did I say Junior Seau? I'm an idiot. Sean Merriman. I'm a fucking moron.
There
So
you go.
glad I retired. He said, Sean Merriman posted this. This is via the 3013. So glad I'm retired because there ain't no way. Look at the size difference. That's almost a whole foot. I'll turn the brightness down even more. That's almost a foot difference between these guys. And he's 6'4". Holy shit. Now, of course, he's got cleats on and everything, but dude, that's a big boy. Holy
ridiculous.
Anything over 6 foot is insane, says Mrs. 5'2". What's it like down there, you garden gnome? I'm kidding, Charlotte. You're one of our favorites. Yeah, it's got to be tough. I always feel bad for their joints, man, because like I feel like there has to be a study on how that's not good. I was just watching this the other day and thought of you guys. Mark Henry said that he weighed 220 pounds at 10 years old. What? Dude, I weigh 224 pounds right now, and I'm 36.
Well, wrestling isn't exactly the best one because a lot of wrestlers either have massive problems with their muscles and joints or they pass away really early.
Shut up. Adam, looking good, feeling healthier. Congratulations on your PT milestone. Yeah, man, celebrate that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I'll say graduated from physical therapy rather than finished, because I don't think I'm ever going to be done working on myself, but
and you shouldn't.
They don't think I need their help that way anymore. They feel I can do it at home, which I should be able to as long as I can keep motivated and keep myself accountable for what I'm doing.
I'll help you with that, man. You know I'm always rooting for you. I feel the same way, dude.
I thought you were going to say you were going to help with high heels. I'm like, you can do a show in high heels? Well, have you ever tried walking in high heels?
I've tried one time when I was married.
It's a no.
I don't. Here's the thing. They're ugly as sin. And I know with me, if I ever had to do it for any whatever weird reason, I would have to wear high heels. I would roll my ankle. I know that's going to happen because I have shitty ankles. But here's the thing. If you're wearing wedges, you have that support. How women wear the one that's on that little platform, dude, it blows my mind. I'm like, how? First of all, how does it not crumble? I know you guys weigh less than us, so that makes sense. But I don't. And then girls walk in, they're elegant, and they walk quickly in them. And I'm like,
how?
I don't trust y'all. I don't do it.
Is there like a little school they go to learn this? Because I don't feel like that's human learned.
Don't run in them. Don't wear them at all. Don't wear them. First of all, don't wear them and don't run in them if you have to wear them. No. I did not see this episode talking about us wearing high heels.
Every once in a while, you got to go a little off the tracks.
Well, I'm not going to make it about me, but I hit a milestone today, too. I was 252 in November. I was 223 this morning, and I hit a new thing on the bench press because I don't remember how much I weighed over the last 4 years during COVID. But I went to the gym today, and I bench pressed 255 pounds, and I know I could have done more, but I didn't try because I wasn't about to ask someone for help. I'm like, I feel like if I have to strain a little bit, I can get this up without help.
I'm still not comfortable enough in myself to say how much I weigh because it is a lot.
That's okay.
But I will say that I have lost 43.8 pounds so far on this journey.
Oh, dude, hell yes.
So it's going.
I'm happy for it. I hope that you get to the goal that we discussed before when you're eligible. And when that happens, I'm going to run around and do laps for you, dude. I really am. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
And I've got my nephew pushed me around in a wheelchair to, walking places on my own, and that in alone is big for me.
It has to boost your mood, not only for confidence and trust in yourself, but just to be able to get out and have a little more. It's got to be liberating to be like, I can go and do what I want to do now. It's got to
even just like walking to my mailbox was something I never thought I'd be able to do in a while, but I've been doing that now, so
good.
Gotta do what you can do.
Jonathan, thank you for asking. Yeah, I found out I was diabetic back in December. Fun. It's fun to relive that horrible day. My blood sugar was 541. I should have been in a coma, which is fucking nuts. I've taken my medication they've given me. I'm on metformin and something else. I take it as prescribed. The blood sugar went down immediately because that's what that medication does, along with watching what I eat relatively. I've changed my diet about half of what I used to have, portion wise, and then drink a lot of water. I'm exercising a shitload. But the cool thing that happened for me was my A1C was at like 9 something, and they wanted it under 7.
Yeah.
And I checked my A1C last month in May, and it was in the sixes, mid sixes. And they said in an email, like, if you're with the VA, I know Jonathan's a vet, they'll send you a message on their secure messenger, and they'll say, "Hey, it's your doctor. This, and this. They can prescribe you things. They can talk to you directly. It's pretty great, like we do on Facebook Messenger or whatever." And they said, "Whatever you're doing, keep going. You're doing everything right, and we are impressed with your progress. If you continue down this path, you will make a complete 180." And I'm like, "That's all you had to tell me, man." I don't feel like I've done a lot. I mean, I had a fucking big gulp just now, but I like today. I went to the gym. I worked out for 1 hour. When we get off the podcast here, I'm getting on my Peloton, and I'm gonna watch. I'll tell you, here's a life hack. I'm word vomiting right now, but I'm so jacked for Adam and myself and all of you guys telling about your stuff. Here's the one: if you ever get a Peloton or you want a trick, if you don't have a Peloton, you just have like a wind bike or whatever. Watch a show while you do it. On my Peloton, I bought it during COVID. I didn't use it for like 2 years. And now I use it now. I didn't know that on their entertainment option at the bottom, you can log into your Netflix and you can just do a random ride.
As long as you don't bring up that orange and black hub on there.
Yeah, don't bring that one up.
Don't do that one.
They haven't partnered with them yet. So when they do, the rides will get interesting. But like for me, recently I watched a movie. I don't remember what one, but I watched A Simple Favor. Blake Lively, Anna Kendrick. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I saw it in the theaters and I really enjoyed that.
I thought it was pretty good. I like an original story out of the 1 million remakes they're making.
And I hate to be a little bit of a dirty old man, but those are two really good-looking ladies.
They are very attractive in their own right. But I watched that movie from start to finish. I did the bike for 95 minutes. Now, I'm not Lance Armstrong, heart rate at 150 the whole time. I do little increments, like every 5 minutes. I'll try to do 1 minute of pure hard, like, man, this sucks. Chill. Dude, I burned like 1,200 calories.
Don't say burn, because he will appear.
Bernie. Anyways, we're going off the rails, so we're not talking about Viking stuff for like 10 minutes. I'm very happy with your guys' progress and y'all's support. I'm thinking about Adam though, man. This is to lose that much and to still like have, because what happens a lot is you get to that point and you plateau. Just keep going.
I'm at that stagnant point right now where I should be losing more than I am, but because I am at that plateau, I am not seeing the numbers that I want to see. But I know that if I keep with it and I can push through it, when it does start coming off, it's really going to start coming. That's how those plateaus work. So I can't get frustrated. I got to keep doing what I'm doing.
You'll get there. I think there will be another surge where we both get to it. I want to be 210 to 205.
I haven't seen Surge. Have you? Is he here?
Who?
Sergio.
I haven't. No. I'm looking through the comments. I haven't seen.
No, I don't see him.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay. Fun fact. Jake Gyllenhaal is my favorite actor, but he has put out some dog shit movies lately. I'm really hoping this new Apple series turns around. It looks really good. The new Roadhouse, if you can just absorb that it's nothing like the one before, and it's just, this movie is just like a bump of cocaine. It's off the rails. Like, it's so bad.
am kind of hyped. While we're talking about movies, I got to share this because I'm just hyped about it. Did you see George A. Romero's daughter is releasing a zombie movie?
I haven't heard about this.
Queen of the Dead.
Ooh. Okay. You'll have to send me some stuff when we get off here about that. I'm
excited.
Down for it.
I mean, as far as I know, it's still going into production, so it's not coming out anytime soon. But It's announced, which is fun.
I'm sad that they're making a Happy Gilmore 2, which I know is going to disappoint me. Uh, I saw that Nick Swartzen just posted, he's like, we're about to start production on this. And I'm like, oh, they're going to ruin a classic from my childhood.
It can't be worse than Zoolander 2. That might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I love Zoolander.
I didn't know they made a second one.
It is one of my favorite movies of all time. That second one is so bad.
I know the first one's a classic, but I didn't know they made a second. That's hilarious.
Oh, don't watch it. Don't do it.
What are we talking about? Charlotte, who looked good in what?
Oh, she's talking about Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse.
Yeah, I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, for me, Jarhead was my favorite military movie because it accurately described my military career. Everything to a T was like, cool. Minus the family part. Like, he was kind of distant from his family, but everything in there happened to me. I loved Brothers was underrated with, I think Tobey Maguire was in it. I like the new film. I'll take that back. Not all of his movies he put out is bad. The Covenant was pretty good. But the one where he's a 911 dispatcher, the movie Ambulance, it was directed by one of those big directors. It was a horrible movie. Yeah, see, that's my problem. I'll never have abs because I don't eat correctly. But
I always get him confused with Ryan Gosling.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
I think Ryan is a little more handsome, but Jake is a little more manly. Yeah. I mean, it takes I say this because it sounds like an old way of thinking. Ryan Gosling is in the Barbie movie in the Notebook, but I'm sure he's a manly man. But it takes some balls to be like, yeah, I'll be Ken in the Barbie movie for sure.
Anyways, I just had to Google to see if I was him in Lars and the Real Girl or not.
I won't. God, we've already been talking for an hour. This is wild. I won't be too ashamed to admit that I have Amazon Prime, and it popped up the other day. I wanted to watch The Notebook. I looked for The Notebook to watch it, selfishly because Rachel McAdams. I love you, but yeah, it was on there, and I watched it, and I was like, you know what? I get it. I see why this had a big following for a long time.
So we are over an hour now, so we should probably cut this off before we go a little too crazy.
Yeah. I like my rom-coms, though. I watched No Strings Attached last night. I did. Love me some Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, so which one's better, No Strings Attached or Friends with Benefits?
I'm partial because I love Natalie Portman and Ashton Kutcher, but they're kind of the same movie. I like that one because it came out first, but if either one is on, I'll watch either one. I like Justin Timberlake as an actor. I do.
I actually started watching the Hunger Games movies, which I've never seen.
Yeah, you did. I saw your post
last night, and do you know what? They aren't very good.
Yeah. Yeah. They're okay. They're okay. I love, obviously, she's on my Mount Rushmore of celebrity crushes. I love Jennifer Lawrence, but yeah, she's been in better movies.
I absolutely love Silver Linings Playbook. Which,
I was just going to say,
great movie.
Hands down. Acting in that is amazing. I love Red Sparrow. Passengers was good. The new comedy she put out last year was really funny too. But yeah, the hype over these like big, over the top franchise movies.
And what's that one horror movie she did? The House at the End of the Street or something like that?
Oh yeah. It was really good too. I forgot about that. She did one that was kind of like a mental thriller. Mother, I think it was. Mother was okay.
I didn't like that. I think it was just because it was playing too much off, like, it was very biblical.
Yes, I could see that. But I like the attempt. Like, I would much rather see that and be disappointed than to sit through all the Hunger Games. Like, for me, what I think you would like, once you get through, because you're going to watch these because you're a movie watcher, once you get through these.
Well, I bought the 4-movie bundle for $4 on the online. So.
Oh, nice. It's only $4? Damn. That's nice.
I was bargain hunting pretty hard on that one. And I hadn't seen them, so I was like, you know what, for $4, I'll check them out.
I mean, that's good. I mean, that's not a bad price. Once you get through it, watch the most recent Hunger Games. It's a prequel that just came out. I watched that one with my brother and my sister-in-law. I was pleasantly surprised. I walked in there thinking this was going to be crap, and it was very good. Very good compared to what I remember of like the second and third Hunger Games. I don't like it. Anyways, I digress. You're right.
We should thank everyone that checks out my work over on the Viking Age. I had a nice month last month, and I'm off to a really good start this month, so if you guys could go click on an article, I'd really appreciate it.
Do that. You just click on Adam's article, and then when you see his name, after you read the article and scroll down, click on his name. There will be a link to all of the articles. Now, I can't say it enough. You guys fixed the format. I wasn't a fan of the clicking through the thumbnails. Now you don't have that anymore. You just click on it. It's much easier
Yeah.
and quicker, and Adam gets the credit. When his numbers go up, his paycheck is nice. You guys should help him out. Should also follow him on social media here below.
I post some weird stuff, whether it's about what movie I'm watching or whatever my cat's doing or whatever. There's usually something, whether it's on X or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I'm there. I do a lot of stuff on the old social medias. And none of you are watching this right now on Twitch, but it's there right now if someone were there.
We're gonna have to buy some more storage. We're at like 97%. I don't want to delete more episodes.
That's actually something I want to talk to you about in a little bit here after the show.
Sure. Kyle West is not here, but he is on Blue Sky at Vaguely Square. I know I'm not going to put it out unless he wants to. He does have an Instagram again for his photography. But yeah, go follow Kyle West if you have Blue Sky. He seems to be a big fan of that platform. You can also shop his stuff here at kylewest84.pickfair.com. You can look at his photography prints. Very good work. Big fan of his photography work. You can follow me on the old Instagram or Twitter or TikTok at NCDogDude. I had something I wanted to say and I was prepping it. And now that I've promoted, I've forgotten, so it's not that important. I saw Mad Max Furioso this weekend, and it was delightful. I was pleasantly surprised again. Highly recommend if you want an entertaining 2 hours at the movies.
Blue Sky is essentially a Twitter clone, but without
Yes.
all the Elon Musk BS. I guess is a lot of people had a lot of trouble with Twitter, so they jumped to Blue Sky.
You have to have an invite, I believe.
Not anymore.
To get on. Not anymore. Okay, so you don't need an invite anymore. But I also hear that it's a lot less. Like Twitter has a lot of bots because it's been around for a while. You don't have that problem as much anymore. But Kyle West did tell us in previous months that it's not exactly sports centric. So if that's something you're interested in looking on there, there's not a lot of that.
Well, they're getting things figured out. They finally started including like hashtags and things like that. So I mean, they're getting there.
It's slow and upcoming. That's good. I want to do it, but I got rid of Snapchat because
Anything's got to be better than Threads.
I don't have it. I haven't. I made one.
I should delete Threads. That's what I should do.
I made one when it first came out. All it is Instagram's version of Twitter. It's really weird because Instagram is just good enough. And I haven't logged into Threads in I couldn't tell you how long. I had it for like a day. I was like, nope, not doing it, not interested. Every time I get on Instagram, you have 10 new followers. But why? I don't post anything. So, yeah, that's it. But anyways, at any rate.
Yeah, I do want to thank everyone who joined us to talk. We always appreciate having you here. Thanks again to everyone who takes any time to check us out, talk about us, share this podcast, tell a friend, whatever you want to do. We always appreciate you, and we usually talk Vikings football. Today we went a little off the rails, and we apologize about that, but it's a show. We did it. And I do want to thank everyone once again. Remember to stay classy, Minnesota.